And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2017 YugiTuber Grand Championship. In this match, we have JamieTheKid00 playing 60-card zombie shadald shenanigans, I don't even know what to call it, going up against PhoenixFlareX playing Satellar Knights. And with us for this electrifying commentary, we have the second most watched YugiTuber in the Western Hemisphere, the one, the only, Mega Capital G.
What's up, YouTube? Cap G here, looking for an entertaining. This should be a really good match because both of these guys are highly competitive.
Absolutely.
And I love Satellar Knight, so I think this is going to be interesting.
I was totally waiting for you to do like your DN dual commentary intro just for
yeah, you know, sometimes I did that for such a long time that I kind of forgot how to do that intro. And then when I started doing it again, it felt weird. And then I started actually recording regular videos, and I found myself sometimes doing the DN dual commentary. I'd be like reviewing a card. I'd be like, "What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, DN dual comments." Oh my goodness, I'm talking about talking about a Regeki discussion or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
it's so funny when we get conditioned to like doing something a certain way, how things happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like PhoenixFlareX is going first here though, because I think he got the first hand off. Jamie's
Okay,
hand's
so we're
looking
seeing
pretty good though. I mean, he's got Grass, Foolish, he's got Instant Fusion, so. And Phoenix is not playing 60 cards, so Jamie's, as long as he gets a nice hit off this lawn mowing, he's going to be in some good shape.
Yeah, the one thing though is he does have one dead card because he has the double instant fusion,
yeah.
And Phoenix opened up with Deneb, so at least he's getting Altair.
Yeah.
Or no, he got Vega. That means he probably
already has the Altair. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's looking pretty good. I think that if Phoenix can get through the first two turns without getting like the doors bust off, I think he'll be in really good shape.
I'm actually surprised. Satellar Knight is a really solid pick for this tournament, just based off of like the restrictions on the decks and things. Jamie getting that Solitaire, which is a really nice top deck there, because now he has at least one copy of Omega guaranteed if he wants. But,
yeah, and it's a really good card to possibly bait out like a Nova. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like maybe you'd want to probably use Nova on like that grass, but you also don't want to bring it out, like like you said, an Omega or something like that.
Yeah,
so.
like the fact that Solitaire is just a one-card Omega is absurd. I love it.
Definitely. He's going to activate the effects.
Looks like
and wow, you know what? I actually don't see a way of him really keeping at least one extra deck monster off the field because he has the instant fusion as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is going. I mean, those three cards are just going to have to cover so much ground. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Oh, he pitches the Trick Clown. Why did I never think of that?
I really like that. Yeah, because Unizombie doesn't require you to discard a zombie. It's any card. So
okay.
Yeah, using that with the Trick Clown is really cool, just for the synergy there. It will suck if he synchros because then he can't get it back. In later turns, but to make Omega, I mean, it's worth it.
Let me ask you this, Simo.
Shoot.
What is your first thought with Foolish Barrel? What are you thinking he might use that for?
It really depends because depending on what Phoenix Flare does in response here, because I mean he could get a Mizuki to revive the Unizombie because he didn't send off of Unizombie's effect. So getting that Mizuki could be really important here. I think it's going to depend more. He's probably going to lawn mowing before he foolishes just to see what he hits. And any extender combo piece after that, if he needs anything, he can just foolish for that later. So
right. And you said he is playing some Shadows in here?
Yes, I do remember seeing, I believe, we see the window there in the extra deck.
Okay.
But
I'm
he's
just
playing
thinking
Shadal Fusion and I believe a small Shadal engine as well.
Yeah, worst case scenario, he could actually use that Foolish Burial. It's kind of like an MST. He could just send like Dragon to the Grave.
Yeah.
He was like desperate. And he just needed to get rid of the back row or something like that. Yeah, he's in really good position. I think he's just looking to set up like a really big board and just kind of like I think maybe Mizuki is the better play here. Oh, is he gonna Black Rose?
I like the Black Rose.
I was thinking about that. I wasn't sure if he ran it. He's gonna force at least a Solemn Strike or a Nova or a Phoenix or something.
If
those are just like
here. And remember, everyone, there's no dimensional barrier in this tournament.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Dimensional barrier, you call a synchro, you're in good shape. But
and this is so cool because Jamie's chaining the Omega as Chain Link 2. So, oh my God, the Black Rose resolved.
Oh.
And now the grass comes down. I saw a lot of cards there. He hits a Squamata. He had a Snow, I saw. Oh man, this is going to be a huge turn for Jamie.
Oh my goodness. He hit a Beast, he hit a Hedgehog, he hit
that was for sending. That was for sending.
Okay, wow.
So Falco's gonna recover itself because it was sent. Now he has Snow Engrave.
A Snow too.
It's funny though because Instant Fusion has extra synergy with the Winda if he needs it. So
yeah, see, I didn't even think about the fact that he could just foolish for like something like Fairy Tale Snow.
Yeah,
because I mean he has almost 30 cards in the grave right now. So
and he's using it to send that Mizuki. Kind of what I was thinking because now he can just resurrect Unizombie. Gozuki can also send another zombie, so he can send another Mizuki and resurrect the Unizombie. So he can make a second Omega on that.
Yeah,
Gozuki's such a dumb card.
as much as I love Call of the Haunted and like Oasis and Tellarknights because it sets up those really explosive Trevor plays. They're they're like not the greatest cards to get turn one because turn one defensively, like all you want is cards that just stop your opponent from doing stuff with Tellarknights, you know? Like you want those strikes, you want with Dimensional Barrier not being in this tournament, I think I would have actually played Phoenix Chain as well in Tellarknights.
Yeah, Phoenix Chain was really popular in Tellarknights back in the day because you can trigger it back similar to Call of the Haunted and then just reuse it again. So yeah, and I agree. With probably Cosmo and Magic Specters not being that popular, you don't have to worry about that, targeting, not being able to like really target those archetypes. You know what I mean? Because that's part of the reason why cards like Phoenix Chain kind of fell out of favor. Docs came out, all the non-targeting stuff came out, but I don't really think anybody's playing a lot of that. Have you seen a bunch of Cosmo in this tournament? I believe there was only one player so far. I think Blair Hunter played Cosmo his first round. There might have been one other person playing Cosmo, but off the top of my head, he's the only person I remember playing Cosmo. But since people have to switch decks every round, we might see more Cosmo later on. People might be saving it because, Dark Destroyer is, an
still
amazing
really
card.
Good.
So
yeah. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
I think at this point, this one's probably in the bag. And he was playing 2 targets for what's it called too. He has 2 targets for instant. That's even scarier.
Yeah. No, I mean, just having the extra flexibility on Instant Fusion that you don't really care about running 3 copies of it. I mean, sure, obviously Norden's probably the better pick, but having the Winda for just any synergy for either your Synchro plays or Fusion plays or anything like that is just really cool.
Yeah, and he has double Omega coming back this turn, right?
The Terror Top. Yeah, he's got double Omega, which should be coming back. And then I don't know if he got rid of his Terror Top, though.
That's what I was going to ask.
Or his Taketomber.
His Taketomber, yeah. I was like, at this point, I don't even know if he can resolve the what's it called? Yeah, I think he's looking through his graveyard.
He's like, do I have it? Wow,
exactly.
He still has it in the deck.
Wow. Okay.
So he's going to probably just use 1 Omega to clear the field space for the Terror Top.
So he can go for a rank 3 player or something like that.
I was going to use both of them just to keep those cards out of his hand. I like that.
Okay.
I mean, he only has to deal with 1 back row, and hitting, all-tired Vega's pretty good.
Yeah, the only way I think Phoenix could have gotten back in this game would have been like a massive Mirror Force, something like a quaking that puts everything face down.
Even
you know what I mean? And then he has like
really
time to like come back into the game or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a Drowning, but outside of that, there's like no one card, even a torrential, even like a massive torrential right here. Because he has Fairy Tale Snow.
That's true.
And,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It does the instant fusion. Like, I just don't know where you go from there.
Oh my god, I could imagine getting Quaking for 5. You're just locked out of anything.
I've seen huge. Oh, he can make Totem. Yeah, Totem Bird should be it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen some really big Drowning plays of like Drowning for like 4 monsters and stuff like that. And that card can bring you back.
And Mirror Force and Tellarknights is not exactly like anything uncommon by any stretch of the imagination. So, let's see here. Interesting, because I wonder, he could have gone into Levier. I guess he wants to just negate that back row, assuming it's not a counter trap.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm thinking of is he's playing around the back row.
Yeah.
I think your play actually might have been better of using the 1 Omega, because then he could have killed him this turn, right?
Yeah, because he's only on 2,700 life right now. So
yeah,
the fact
and he
that
still has the Fairy Tale Snow as well. So.
Exactly. Did he have 2 snows or just 1?
I think he just has 1.
Oh, okay. If he had 2, then obviously it's the same result. But yeah, keeping that 1 Omega, he would have just ended it. And there's no point to banish it unless he was trying to bait out the back row. And the Spirit Master is going to pop the back row here anyway. So PhoenixFlareX just surrenders, which obviously in this situation, that's justified to just surrender there. So we get to look at his deck here. As you can see, it's pure madness, as I was saying.
Wait, is he okay? So he is running one copy of the dragon, and what's he? Oh, he's bringing in the Denkos. He's bringing in the no back row. I think it's interesting that he's playing the Shiranui Trap. That's the Icarus attack one, right?
Yes, it is. I thought that was interesting as well.
Yeah, and it's his only trap because you would think like a deck like this would play like no traps or had Vanities still been legal, this would have been like a deck that might play like Vanities or something like that.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. What are you bringing in if you're Phoenix? Because I'm not sure that I have anything that's that great like to bring in.
20 extra cards so we can't resolve grass.
Yeah. I mean, I know that some people have messed around with different dimensional ground. I still don't know how good that card is because I feel like it's literally only that great against a card like grass. Maybe you could play. I've seen people side it in against like Mermill because obviously all their stuff wants to go to the graveyard. But I feel like tellers are extremely limited in this type of matchup.
I agree. Yeah, a kind of deck like the one Jamie's playing is so flexible in its ability to kind of adapt to certain types of back row. Like I'm trying to think like even if you have something like maybe Imperial Iron Wall to prevent the Mizukis from banishing and recurring advantage, and as well as the Omegas. I mean, there's
then he can still hit you with the mill the shadow cards and get advantage. Yeah, it's like you're getting hit from so many different angles. I'm not really seeing a card that covers all of this without something crazy like Macrocosmos that would also kill your deck as well.
Exactly, and we see Jamie's opening hand here: double Denko, double Snow Shadal Fusion. Jeez. Well, he got the Denko. I mean,
and the thing is, he's going for Vega, which means he's committing to you don't summon Vega unless you're probably going to commit to the extra deck.
Exactly, and so this means that this could be a really.
Although I will say this, that hand, it is kind of bricky because he has double Snow, and double Snow plus him having double Denko, like you only get one normal summon. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, he's a lot of cards that he needs the normal summon.
He really only has 2 of 5 live cards right now.
Yeah, exactly. So as great as it looks, you know what I mean? It might not. If he does, I think it would be better if he doesn't go into his extra, because then all Jamie could do is just Denko.
So well, he won. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he just Denko'd and attacked, okay, what does that do? Because you have to your next turn, you could easily counter that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Phoenix would have like the huge advantage, but the making the Shadow Fusion live is gonna hurt unless he like flips over Anti-Spell Fragrance or like
he
some. Oh my
like
goodness,
5 floodgates. Yeah.
Did you see that top deck though?
Oh my god. Well, there's the Anti-Spell.
Oh, the Anti-Spell. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, and it's funny because Jamie isn't playing Break Sword as we saw in his extra deck. He only has Totem Bird as well as Leviair, so he can't pop that.
He literally has like no way of outing it then?
Yeah, so I mean, at least with the Terror Top, and he has no other current way in his hand to out it. I mean, I think that Tsukiyomi paid off for Phoenix Flare. He got 2 extra back row in exchange for an extra monster that was in his hand. So
yeah, I mean, and if one of those cards was Anti-Spell, then definitely. Exactly. Anti-Spell was the one card I could think of that could kind of neutralize the Denko, because if you summon it, it doesn't really do anything. Like, what's it called can attack over it.
Exactly. Tsukiyomi can just attack over Denko. So that's the funny thing of this whole situation, is that Jamie can't actually... If anything, he could bait maybe switching the Tsukiyomi to attack mode to attack over the Denko, and then he can summon the second one. But I'm really curious to see if Phoenix is going to have any response to any of these plays.
Would you normal summon Denko here? Because obviously Phoenix doesn't know what Jamie's playing. Like, he doesn't know his extra. Would you consider normaling Denko before you would have Exceed there? Maybe?
Potentially, because this Totem Bird's now under threat by something like Strike.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I don't really think a Totem Bird versus like 4 back row really does much, because like Strike's a thing, you know what I mean?
Exactly. So Denko can at least completely just neutralize. Oh, well, it looks like Phoenix decided not to respond anyway. But I mean, it's just unfortunate because Jamie has no way to clear the Tsukiyomi as it currently stands. I mean, he's just going to summon Denko, set Shadal Fusion, and just pass.
And I guess just hope that his Shadow Fusion can be set long enough to where he can resolve it.
Exactly.
You can see he's debating. Like, he's. I mean, obviously he's going to set the Shadow Fusion because it would be live next turn.
Well, the problem is if he sets Shadal Fusion, then Denko.
Denko becomes unlive.
Exactly.
I forgot about that.
Right.
So, he's in a terrible position.
Yeah. So
and you have to think Phoenix can potentially get, like, he gets to look at 3 cards potentially.
exactly, he has another
Like,
+1 potential here, and it looks like
yeah,
he's going
exactly.
for it. Traded in
So
the
I mean,
MST.
yeah, you give up an MST for nothing, and now he's just gonna lose his Denko, or he can just
Exactly.
crash. So,
But it's good though because it forced the Tsukiyomi into attack mode, which I think was kind of like what we were saying. That's kind of the play. Now it just depends what kind of back row Phoenix Flare has, because if he has double Mirror Force or double Disruptive Way to stop Totem Bird, ooh, Oasis. Okay, so maybe this is where he's going.
but he might. It looks like he'll probably have to. He has to force the negate.
I think he has to, because this is
you can't let an Altair just go off like that.
No, it's going to get way out of hand. And now, unfortunately for Jamie and the Fiendish
There's
Chain.
the
So he has
Phoenix
Fiendish
Chain.
Chain.
There we go. I knew Phoenix was a good call for. I knew it was a good call.
Are you sure you didn't watch this match beforehand, G?
No,
I don't know.
this is uncanny. If he can make Trevor, I think this is a blowout.
Yeah,
because he isn't normal, right?
He has not normal. He just switched.
Oh well, then he
Tsukiyomi
can
to
make
attack.
Trevor.
Exactly.
If he makes Trevor, this match becomes a blowout.
Well, and then
because
he can also summon Diamond as well.
Yeah.
And that prevents anything from being sent to graveyard, and then that's pretty much Jamie's whole game plan. I mean, granted, Snow could probably just set it, but still, Jamie has nothing else he can do at this point.
Well, he wouldn't even be able to Snow because he could just flip over the Fiendish Chain again.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean, he could. I guess Jamie could try and rely on his graveyard, but with the anti-spell, that graveyard is not getting set up.
Yeah, but the good thing is, though, if you're Jamie, you know what 3 of his 5 back row are now.
Yeah, that's true.
Presumably, if he Trevors here, if he sets the exact same 5 back row, you know that 3 of them, what they already are. So you know what you have to deal with. Yeah. But if those other 2 cards in his hand are back row as well, then it could be anything.
If he snipes out the Shadow Fusion, I really don't. Okay, he got a Snow.
That's probably the best thing he could have hit. Oh, for Jamie at least.
Yeah, for Jamie, I was thinking if you're Jamie, that's not that bad. If he hits the Shadow Fusion, I don't really see you having much of a win condition anymore because. Yeah, the Trevor is such a problem right now. Yeah, not just that it's bigger, but he still does have 2 normals in his hand. So like he's potentially going to lose another card from his hand regardless next turn.
Exactly. I think
unless
has
his top deck is
wrapped
just really
up, unless
big.
some sort of miracle comes up, because this is just like so bad for Jamie right now.
Yeah, and we didn't see any, he went for the diamond too.
Yeah. No, that's
and
really
we
good.
didn't see any Twin Twisters, right?
He has Twin Twister in the deck. But, I mean, Anti-Spell is going to be there anyway, so he would need to draw it right there to be able to... Oh, actually, it doesn't matter, because Shaddoll Fusion, he can't send under Diamond, so...
True.
So, I mean, he has Desires, but he can't even use it because of Anti-Spell. Yeah, I would just scoop if I were Jamie. This is rough.
Well, he has locked himself out of Denko now, too.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, though, you can't even worry about that, because you can't even clear what's on his board. So
yeah, you're right. Even if he normal summon Denko, what does that do to Diamond? Diamond just laughs at that card.
Exactly. Like Phoenix Flare essentially needs, like, if he Twin Twisters here, like this is just like the best thing that could possibly happen.
Yeah, for the 2 back row. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Phoenix is going to because he has Altair in the grave. I think he's going to probably Oasis, and at that point, that's when Teller Knights just take over the game. I think that it was basically he just needs to not get blown out within the first 2 turns.
Yeah.
Like he cannot let the duel get out. Like in the last game, the Black Rose was just the floodgates got open.
I know.
You know what I mean? He needs to survive those first couple of turns.
That was really cool though, just to see the Omega and the Black Rose. I really like that one.
Yeah. So I think I'm not even sure what XC Phoenix even needs to go into. I think he could just start putting everything in attack mode and just going for straight up raw damage and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he needs to be the aggressor at the
end. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just pretty much ignoring that. Even if I didn't have the anti-spell and you just start setting stuff, I'm just gonna ignore it. Like I'm just gonna think, okay, those are all bluffs. I don't really care about those cards.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like he's gonna start going with the plan that we assumed. He's switching everything into attack. And I mean, I don't know. He probably could have put a little bit more firepower on the board, but maybe he didn't want to commit into like a torrential or just a mirror force or something. He is in such a good position. He doesn't want to really relinquish that. So,
well, the really odd thing about Teller Knights is sometimes, like even when they have a board like what Phoenix has, sometimes they can struggle to put damage when their opponent they can struggle to put damage to a face down monster because For you to really get rid of a face down monster, a lot of times you have to go for I'm forgetting the first exam. I keep thinking Diamond, but that's not
Deltaros?
the card. Yeah, Deltaros.
Yeah.
And Deltaros requires a lot of resources. So,
Mhm.
there's no like good generic answer to like a set card. There's no Castel for that. I mean, there's Diamond Direwolf, but Diamond Direwolf has to die. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
and this isn't like ABC where you can just essentially just pitch away your Diamond Direwolf and you're getting your resources back. In this deck, it actually kind of
exactly.
matters.
So like sometimes Teller Knights it's not like they really struggle through the game state, but like they won't get as much damage as another deck. Like ABCs. Because ABCs, they don't really care if their monsters stay on the board. They just summon Buster Dragon from the graveyard anyways.
Right. So Dark Teller Knight activating its effect now, so he's
Bat
probably...
Lamas. Oh no, excuse me, Bat Lamas, right? TCG names.
Yeah.
From Bat Lamas to Bat, like, what's the point? Okay.
Trevor coming down again. Now, interestingly enough, Snow is online, but I don't really know where this is going to get him. I think it's kind of odd that
I think at this point, Phoenix, even though, like, I think he realizes, okay, I can't game you. I'm just gonna Trevor so that you can never use these spells. Like that's what I think he's doing. I used to do this to Necros players.
Sure.
Back when that was like really big with Teller Knights and an anti-spell. Like if you know you can't kill them, just constantly Trevor so that they can never use their spells.
Yeah,
because Teller Knights don't need their spells to win. The only spell you really need is like Rhoda.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean?
And the fact that you're pretty much denying him, in a 60 card deck, almost 50% of it is typically spells.
Mm-hmm.
The fact you're denying them half of their deck by just Trivering, you're kind of losing a little bit of resources, but you're so far ahead at this point. it's a really sound strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as you have the Phoenix Chain and the Oasis, like he still has to, like Jamie still has to deal with those two cards, let alone the Trevor. Like
I know.
You know what I mean? And has he even taken a card out of his hand yet?
He hasn't. He's about to now, though.
Okay. Yeah, he hasn't even used...
The only threat with doing this is if Jamie potentially top decks a Twin Twister. There goes Denko.
Right, well, now he has no monsters.
Right, so it doesn't even matter. But I was going to say, Twin Twister top deck's probably the best thing because then you can chain it on activation to anti-spell and then your spells are live. But that's like... again, we're talking about a 60-card deck here, so you have to keep that in mind. And Jamie's just surrendering because he knows there's no hope with a handful of spells, staring down at his anti-spell with a Trivera just ready to bounce everything again.
Even that deep into the game, I'm not even sure Twin Twister, because I don't know. We didn't see a Nova, but when a Teller Knight player goes that deep into their deck, like you might think that a Nova's down there. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Because if he has Nova, then whatever card you throw at him just doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do wonder about Teller Knight and going second.
Right.
Because with Max C at like 1, what are you doing?
Exactly. Yeah, and that deck relies so much on its back row to kind of carry it into its and to carry it into its later turns and kind of get things going.
Yeah, and the thing is, usually, like naturally, you would think field removal, but I'm not sure field removal really works against this deck when the primary card he's looking to make turn 1 is Omega.
Right.
Like a card like Dark Hole, those could not be more useless against a card like Omega. So field removal doesn't really do much. If I was Phoenix, I would be desperately trying to figure out something that would help me go second, and I'm not sure that I can even think of that card.
So it's interesting. We see Jamie's actually deciding to side out the entire Shadal engine here because he is going to go first, and that's actually a pretty good idea because you're not going to gain really any value off of the Shadal fusion going first.
Yeah.
So he's going to side into just a plethora of other better go first options here. We see he's also switching some cards up in his side deck.
Yeah, he's actually he's adjusting the extra as well.
Yeah, putting in Book of Eclipse is interesting.
Okay.
I actually really like Eclipse against Satellar Knight, just denying them the Xyz plays, because they kind of live or die by that to an extent.
Yeah.
And this is a really good hand. You got Thrasher, Brilliant Fusion.
Any hand with Soul Charge is a lot of times going to be explosive. He has at least one. Does he play Minerva? Does he play Minerva?
We're looking at the extra.
No, he doesn't.
Didn't look like Minerva, yeah. What's also really cool is I like Gold Sarcophagus in this deck because you can actually banish Shiranui Spirit Master and trigger its effect immediately.
Right.
So that's actually a cool way just to have a nice piece of spot removal, and then Sarcophagus will add the Spirit Master to your hand. So on top of the fact you can add like anything off of it, that's just a cool interaction with Sarcophagus that I really like. But
okay, obviously he'll Brilliant Fusion. Yeah. Are you thinking Trick Clown?
Yeah, you're going to probably go for Trick Clown here because, just get your, free rank 4 guaranteed, and then...
And that's why I was thinking about Minerva, but if you're not going for Minerva because he doesn't play that, then what else could he possibly do? Or what rank 4 would you lean towards then?
It's hard to say because it didn't look like he had too many rank 4s when we were looking at his
that's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm looking at this hand, I'm like, where do you actually go with this? Because, I mean, you could do a suboptimal play of, like, I'm sure he runs Daigusto. I think I saw a Daigusto. I mean, you could bring back your Garnet, but what's the point of that?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do like, I mean, he could bring, it depends.
He's setting it.
That's interesting.
What is
Oh, Tsukiyomi. Okay, that's a good play.
Okay,
that's fine.
Fair
We
enough.
didn't see
He plays Tsukiyomi. I didn't even think about that. Okay, that changes everything then.
Exactly, yeah. So, pitching the Thrasher, obviously,
probably
got the two worst draws in his deck.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I think I would have rather just had to go to Kopka's back.
I know.
Those were terrible draws.
Well, it's not a real competitive game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Unless Takatomborg's in the hand, so.
Yeah, not only does he draw the Takatomborg, thus making, I mean, it's pretty much a dead card, but to draw another Photon Thrasher, a card that can't even take advantage of the, additional normal summon, it's just, ugh.
Yeah, we saw Jamie considering, I think, the Dweller with his Soul Charge, but, I mean, Dweller is just so susceptible to just getting hit by, like, Unuklahai or Altair.
Yeah, you can attack over that. It's kind of crazy because I just talked about how Dark Hole wouldn't, Dark Hole and Regeki wouldn't be good going second, and right now it's looking really good.
Oh, Jamie got so lucky. Phoenix drops the MST and hits the Book of Moon instead.
Instead of what? Soul Charge?
Into the Soul Charge, yeah.
Okay.
So he lucked out there.
But her defense isn't really... Seraphonite shoots, 1,400 defense?
Well, yeah, but it's good, though, because it resets her defense, because she was 0 under Brilliant Fusion anyway.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Yeah, so if anything, he got at least a little, maybe marginal amount of value off of the Book of Moon.
I still don't know if I see her surviving, especially when he already has Rhoda, so he at least has Deneb Altair.
Yeah.
If nothing else. Like, I'm pretty sure she's going to die, but... If I'm Jamie needs to... He really, really, really needs that Tsukiyomi not to die.
Yeah.
Because if that Tsukiyomi dies, I'm looking at his hand and I don't... Oh, he's taking Phoenix. He must already have Deneb or something. I'm looking at that Tsukiyomi, and if that thing dies, I don't know where he goes with this hand, because it's not pretty.
Exactly, yeah. So Phoenix Flare dropping the Deneb, probably going to search Altair, or Vega, actually. I guess he already has the Altair. Then he can run over the Seraphonite by a mere 100 points.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, he probably just set some back row. We already know when's Fiendish Chain. So Tsukiyomi, if anything, is going to bait out the Fiendish Chain. And then Jamie's kind of in an awkward spot because Soul Charging, I think the only rank 4s I saw were Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon, Daigusto Emerald, and Rhapsody in Berserk.
So not even a Utopia the Lightning.
Not even, well, even if he had Lightning, he's under Soul Charge, so he couldn't attack anyway.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
Nothing really, he doesn't have like a Castel or like something that he could actually proactively use. I guess Rhapsody's a little bit proactive. Daigusto Emerald arguably as well. Book of Eclipse on the draw. I don't think that's really going to do him any good.
Nah, that's actually a really bad time to get it. Would you pitch these 3 cards for 2 new ones? Because I think I might.
I mean, I would set the Eclipse probably.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
but would you just get rid of 2 for 2?
Possibly. Well, interestingly enough, though, what Jamie could do is he could Tsukiyomi and then bait out the Fiendish Chain, then chain Book of Eclipse,
and
force
have
everything
resolve.
Down and resolve the effect.
Right. Yeah, that would be a pretty good play.
But I don't know if he's willing to waste the Eclipse.
Well, he can't book it now.
Yeah, he can't use it now. He's going to get Trick Clown back, but it's not going to matter really, unless he's going to dedicate the Soul Charge this turn.
The Soul Charge. Yeah. There's the Fiendish Chain.
Yeah, so there's Fiendish Chain like we thought. And
yeah. And I was thinking that the Soul Charge could be very relevant if he hit like something crazy like grass, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, as of right now, and he's kind of just paying 1,000 life points for nothing because he can't really do anything. Even if he's summoned Takatomborg, it doesn't really do anything.
Right.
Like, would you commit to the Soul? I don't think I would even commit to Soul Charge because your follow-up plays are just extremely weak.
Yeah, they're so lackluster at this point.
Yeah,
I mean, the only advantage to bringing the Trick Clown back is that Phoenix Flare has to kill it twice if he wants it permanently gone. So even though Jamie will take another 1,000 next turn, assuming,
yeah,
at least he has that floating level 4 for the rank 4 play if he wants it. But yeah, his rank 4s are just really lackluster, unfortunately.
Yeah, although I'm not even sure that is that important because he has Vega. So
yeah.
he has a monster that he can just expend a crash because he can't get over without going into his extra. It's not like he can really get over the the Tsukiyumi anyways, and I'm not really sure how important Tsukiyumi is right now. But the Vega could easily he could just summon Vega, not use the effect, attack the Trick Clown, it comes back, attack it with the Neb, and then go into a rank 4 play as he sees fit.
Well, we see Soul Charge coming down, so
okay.
Apparently Jamie sees some value in it.
I don't even know if it. I think it's just a desperation play, don't you?
I mean, I think so too, because the best play I can see him doing here is making Emerald and just actually no, because I don't think he can Emerald because he's Soul Charging everything back. So there would be no purpose.
Does he have Castel?
He doesn't have Castel, at least not that I saw.
Because what I was thinking is if he had Castel and he could put Deneb back in the deck, that might get him somewhere.
Exactly.
Because then at least the Altair gets turned off, and then you're like Phoenix would pretty much only be playing with the Vega and the Altair that we assume he has, the 2 cards in his hand, and it'd be like you're disrupting the natural flow of Sertella Knights constantly +1, searching. Like you'd at least be breaking the chain. But yeah, I'm not really sure this play leads to much of any. If there was a tuner in here, okay, you're going somewhere, but I'm not really sure what this does.
Yeah, a tuner would make all the difference in this Soul Charge play, which is kind of funny. But
oh, you know what he could be doing because he's getting the Serephronite back? I think maybe he's just trying to wall up, man. Like, even if you just had a Utopia the Lightning, it would be something big and imposing on your opponent. Like,
it's funny because he doesn't even have Lightning, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know where this the Abyss Dweller, I don't really think does anything, and I might not even exceed. I'm just gonna keep the monsters, and I'm just gonna pray that these big vanilla beaters can get me there. Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh, Simo. Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh.
One thing I'm thinking,
at this point, you're hoping that a bunch of 2,000 plus attack monsters can just get you home.
What I was going to say is maybe he's preempting the Trivera play, because that way, if he Trivers, then everything's going to be sent back to his hand.
Okay,
and then he can use it next turn. So maybe that's where he's going, but I along with walling up as well, because like you said, Sertella Knights aren't exactly notorious for OTKing you, especially through an entire board of monsters. So
here's the thing.
Wow, the
torrential.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that's worth.
That I would definitely say that's worth. That's like a +3 you're getting there. And if that other set card is like a Call of the Haunted,
I kind of feel well. He can still summon. He can still summon Altair anyways.
Exactly.
What I was just thinking is, Jamie has to be careful here about what monsters he leaves on the field, because he's now in the territory of like Utopia the Lightning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he'll I mean, obviously he has the Book of Eclipse, but I'm just saying, like, he's only at 3,000 life points. Like, he has to be very careful about what he summons.
Exactly. Anything with 2,000 or less attack in attack mode is susceptible to just getting wrecked. And now he's going down to 2,000 with the Trick Clown.
Yeah. I think he has to, though. He has to. Because otherwise he's taking 17 directly, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, yeah.
Would you rather? It's like would you rather take
It's taking 1,000 or taking 17, really.
Yeah, exactly. Save yourself 700 life points. And this is really bad, because even if Phoenix just attacks, would you use the book then just to save your Trick Clown? I think he's going to.
I know he's considering it, but he's going to need a hell of a top deck, because you can't play the Thrasher. Takaton Borg is off level, so like, what do you do?
Yeah, and the draws are during the end phase, right?
Correct. Yes, during the.
Okay, so at least he doesn't get Phoenix wouldn't get to set the cards, because if he got to set the cards, oh god, he draws a couple.
Oh my god, the Call of the Haunted.
I think he's trying to go for game here.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, I think he smells blood. The Call of the Haunted means that he is like I think I would probably he's already used Vega's effect though.
Right. So he already used Vega's effect, and then on top of it, the Altair also makes it so his towers are the only ones that can attack. So it puts him in an awkward position.
It doesn't even matter though. It doesn't even matter if he used the effect, because he's going for Trevor, and it doesn't matter if he gets booked, because the Call of the Haunted is going back face down anyways.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really interesting position
at this
here.
Point. I would say like 100% you have to book. You have to give him the card. It doesn't matter that your Trick Clown goes back to your hand. Like, I think you have to book, otherwise you're just going to die.
Yeah, I think so too.
And you would have lost the card from your
hand. Denying the Trivera is actually a really good play here.
What do you think that other set card could be though?
I don't know. I mean, there could be so many different things.
Yeah. Did you see torrential being played in this match?
I was not expecting the torrential.
Knights.
That was a really big torrential. The solitaire is a nice pickup though.
It is, because it's at least, if nothing else, it's a playmaking card.
Absolutely.
Which, like, Jamie has desperately needed just cards that can make plays.
Mm-hmm.
He just has not had any. Although if this Sage doesn't go off, I don't really know where he goes from here.
I mean, Thrasher Solitaire is pretty good because the fact that he cleared his board means that the Thrasher gets to come out now. Mm-hmm. And so he has at least a rank 4 of some sort and potentially even more plays than that as well. So
yeah. I don't think can he even. I'm pretty sure he can't resolve the Brilliant Fusion anymore, right?
I don't know if he runs. The strike!
Yeah.
Wow,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
yeah. I don't. I'm just gonna guess he probably doesn't play 2 Seraphonites, so I don't even think he can resolve that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, this is gonna be rough. I think this is it.
Yeah, and this is basically the blueprint of how Tellarknights want to win.
Yeah, it's true.
Just survive the first couple of turns,
exactly.
Because that's when people have their most resources. That's when people will throw all of their resources at you. That's when they'll give you their best punch.
Yep, exactly.
You know, it's kind of like boxing. You know, it's like telling a boxer, you know what I mean, if you can get to the 4th or the 5th round, he'll start getting tired.
Exactly. So,
and I'm really not. I don't think Jamie hit any of his power cards. We didn't see grass this game.
Nope.
I mean, outside of Brett, well, I guess that sounds a little stupid because he did hit Soul Charge, but the Soul Charge play was just so lackluster.
And I think that's really been his downfall, is that he didn't see any of his power cards. He really got like the worst half of his deck, if you think about it.
Yeah, he did. So, yeah, and he never got to a tuner.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. The tuner could have just changed everything. He'd have the Omega play. He'd have so much more to work with.
Yeah, I think that was the definitive point. Like he never saw a tuner, and why a lot of these while a lot of these grass decks can be they can definitely be predicated on rank 4s. I think that Jamie's just it isn't. Like he doesn't have the rank 4 pool to try and outrank 4 Tellarknights. That's their bread and butter.
Absolutely. So now we see
you're not going to outrank 4 Tellarknights with a grass is greener deck if you don't have like every rank 4 imaginable.
Exactly. And I think that the problem with Jamie's deck here is I think he didn't have the rank 4 toolbox cards that he needed to kind of help control the game. Granted, would it really matter in the long run? It's hard to say, but I mean, it really kind of did hurt him because when he got a hand like this, he was really limited in his options of what he was able to do. We see Trevere hitting another card, and that's just going to do it.
That's game.
PhoenixFlareX moves on to the next round, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next match.